Public housing is a program designed to help low-income families, giving them a roof over their heads. But more and more people continue to use the system, even if their salaries skyrocket. Cody Holyoke is following news from a disturbing federal report looking into a problem that you are paying for.
What if I told you a family making nearly $500,000 is living in public housing here in New York, well over their $67,000 limit to live there? While figures like that are extreme, taxpayers are helping to foot the bill for more than 100 families in our area who take home more than the government allows. It's surprising, and right now it's perfectly legal.
Public housing is sometimes seen as a lifeline, a way for families who've fallen on hard times to get back on their feet. Last year, about 1.1 million families received public housing assistance, but some of them didn't need it. CBS6 tracked down a blunt report released by the Inspector General of HUD, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. That report found more than 25,000 families lived above the income limits for folks looking for housing assistance. The report estimates taxpayers will shell out more than $104 million over the next year to keep those families in public housing, money that could help low-income families who need it.
Kind of very illustrative of sort of the way that government runs amok.
Government watchdog groups like Washington, D.C.'s Citizens Against Government Waste aren't surprised.
The public housing system is meant to help people who are truly needy, not people who can afford to rent their own places in the private market.
Many of the families spotted in this study were making just barely over what they should be, but nearly half of them make more than $10,000 above the federal housing limit, and some of them are right here in the capital region. We found 109 families in the latest report, a handful pulling in six-figure incomes, all while living on the taxpayer dime.
There's a huge population out there today still that needs to be served by public housing, and I don't think it's right that any individual is there who could comfortably move on.
Bob Landry runs the Glens Falls Housing Authority, where a family there earned more than $100,000 last year.
How is this allowed to happen?
Right. Federal law, right at the moment, allows somebody to stay within public housing, even if they are over income, based on the fact that when they came into the public housing, they were below income.
It's true. There's no federal rule on the books that says you have to leave when you make more money. In fact, HUD encourages public housing authorities to not deter these families from living in public housing.
Once you're into those houses, you can stay there in perpetuity. The law says there's no limit to how long you can live in those houses.
By the way, the six-figure family in Glens Falls pays less than $900 a month in rent.
It is an issue. I think that why families do that is they basically cut their cost of living down dramatically, and that's extra disposable income to them. That's not right that does that.
Is that abusing the system?
I don't think it's abusing the system because there's nothing that really stops it right at the moment.
There's more to this story than meets the eye. Tomorrow night, we'll show you how long the waiting lists are for public housing in our area. We'll also explore why local housing authorities are telling me it's actually a good thing higher income families are sticking around. Cody Holyoke, CBS 6 News.